Out of the gates and ready to go. Welcome into this live edition of Seattle Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. I am your fearless leader, Tyler Jones, here with you. So glad to have you with us. We have a loaded show ahead today as we have the latest from Seahawks OTAs. We'll give you our takeaways and also get some reaction from some of your favorite Seahawks, like Julian Love, Riq Woolen, Kupp, among others. We'll go over the full update and analysis coming up in just a moment. Also, we're going to be talking about signing Gabe Davis in NFL free agency. We'll do that in our second segment. Then in segment 3, we have an update on Jalen Milroe in his potential role in the Seahawks offense in 2025. And we will do a Q&A rumors mailbag as well. Go ahead and start submitting your questions now and make life easier on all of us so we don't have to wait. Use hashtag Seahawks or Super Chat to get on today's show. As you guys file in, shout out your city and we'll shout you out. And we will show you some love as we get this thing going. We got Steven already saying our fearless leader. Juan saying fearless leader. How's it going? I'm doing very good, Juan. Juan, not only is it our Wednesday live show, but it is the last live show before yours truly turns 29 years old tomorrow. So I am enjoying my last day of being 28. And so this could turn into a birthday party of sorts potentially today. We could have some birthday shots. Maybe we could do a boot if you guys want. We could have a good time today, depending on how things go. But let us know where you're at. This is our only live show of the week. I was in Chicago just yesterday for the Memorial Day weekend, and I am taking an extended weekend this weekend. I'm off Friday going to South Padre Island, but we wanted to make sure we still got a live show in for you despite my much-needed PTO days this week being off Monday and Friday. Still going to have plenty of content on the channel over the next few days ahead. So we will not leave you hanging by any stretch of the imagination. Where are you guys watching from? I got Michael in Honolulu. Got Myron in Martinsburg. I got Jesse in Washington. Chris in San Antonio. Juan saying happy early birthday. Thank you, Juan. Thank you. Much appreciated. We got, who else? Cal in Charleston. Steven says hi from Seattle. Alonso saying happy birthday. Thank you. Michael says Kyle Larson Day. I don't know what Kyle Larson Day is. I thought that was Sunday with the Indy 500 and the Coke 600. That didn't go so well for Kyle Larson, unfortunately. Got Patricia checking in from Spokane. Tyler, my man, says Gingerbread Man. Gingerbread Man, you're my man. 29. I know, I feel old. This is my last year of my 20s, beginning tomorrow. This is probably the first birthday, I'll be honest, folks, that I'm not too excited about, if I'm going to be frank with you. I want to know. I don't need y'all telling me happy birthday. I'm going to get plenty of people telling me that the next 48 hours. I need some advice. I know we got some people that are older and wiser than I am. What do I need to do to prepare for my 29th year? And this is when reality hits, too, because my mother, who is the greatest person I know, I love my mom so much. She may be watching as far as I'm concerned. She was 29 years old when she had me, and I was her firstborn. So now it's starting to hit me like, oh, shit, I'm growing up now. Like, this is reality is starting to check in. What do I need to know? What advice would you give me for turning 29 years of age? I got Juan saying he's in Oceanside, California. Sam and Milton. Alonso says Seahawks live strong in Phoenix. Nitsu says Tyler is an unk. Have I reached unk status? I have been. I'll tell you this much. I was talking to some college kids in what was it, Memphis a couple weeks ago, and they were telling me I've reached unk status, but not the old man strength yet. That I still have a ways to go to reach there. So unk status, that kind of sucks, to be honest, but I guess it could be worse. I still have no children. I'm not married. It's all kind of, catching up to me. Life is good. Life is very good. What do I need to know? What's some advice out there? Yobel says, travel the world before you start a fam. That's not a bad idea. I do love traveling. You all know that very well. Jeremy says, happy 21-plus birthday from Lake Stevens. That sounds nice. Juan says, hello, yes, definitely unk. Man, let's see. I like this from Chris. Text. You'll have a laugh at this. Advice for turning 29. Chris says, start running. Don't know about that part. Date everyone you can. Okay. You know what? Play my odds. Play the field, as they say.
That's right.
That could be good. Tex, welcome in. Welcome into the show. Do you have any advice for me? I know you're a bit younger than me. What?
Hey, only a few years. I'm almost 27.
Yeah. You work with me every day. What do I need to change as I enter my 29th year, Big Tex? You're probably going to tell me it's time to start hitting the gym now, right?
I mean, the guy did say run, and yes, you have lost weight. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you, sir.
Very impressive. I've never seen anything like it. It's
I went from 345 to 194.
It is mind-boggling.
And you saw me when I was fat.
Yeah, I started like 3 months after you.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You saw the full version of it.
I saw the whole transformation. I think he's onto something, though. I mean, we have a coworker who is very adamant about being active in his late 20s. I think he's in his 30s now. Chase Sr. I think he's like 30 on the dot. He runs a lot, and I think he does all right with the ladies. So maybe they go hand in hand. You run, and while you're running, you see the women out there, and the women come in running after you. And then because you're running, you get the women. So they go hand in hand. I don't know. That's my theory. It's my theory. Maybe try it out.
Maybe so.
Katie
Let's
Trail
see.
Ice House, that little area, it's got a nice little track.
Let's see. The responses include Nitsu says, I don't know, unk is the new Gen Z term for alpha. Okay. That sounds better.
I like that more.
Lon says, buy Bitcoin and find a woman who likes you for you and not your money.
No free ads.
Bitcoin's a little expensive right now. Gingerbread Man says, me and my kids go places. Yobel says, you should visit every Seahawks player's house. I haven't gotten that invite yet. If they invite me, I'm down. Myron says, try to stay out of debt, save what you can, live within your means. Oh, debt, he means. Okay.
I got one more.
That's a good one. And then our first super chat of the day from Myron himself. Happy early birthday. Thank you, Myron. Much appreciated. Have a great time on your trip. Give us the latest Fearless Leader. So tomorrow I am headed, the first stop is to Austin, where Big Tex, I am going to visit our old friend Will Scott.
Dolphins fan.
Yes, I will be staying at his place tomorrow. Hopefully I come out of there alive.
Does he have an apartment?
He does.
Oh,
he
nice.
does. I think I'm on the couch. I'm not trying to big spoon, Will Scott.
That would be weird.
Yeah. But I will be crashing at Will's place tomorrow, and then Friday we will drive from Austin to South Padre Island.
Okay.
If I'm going to turn almost 30, I
Right.
figure I need to feel like I'm 21 again.
For sure.
I know that growing up in Texas, did you ever take like a spring break trip to South Padre? Did you ever live your best life doing that? I have not done this in my adult life.
So, crazy. This is going to blow people's mind. I am a native Texan. I'm from the DFW area. Don't dox me or whatever. But I've never been to Galveston, never been to Houston. Or I'm sorry, I have been to Galveston, I haven't been to Houston, and I haven't been to South Padre Island. So the furthest I've been down is Galveston, which is, I think, relatively close in distance to South Padre Island. But no, I never went. If we went to the beach, it was usually Newport Beach in California or like Gulf Shores or Pensacola, Florida. I've never been to South Padre Island, but I've heard there's a lot of the other sex over there. A lot of women there.
That's good for me.
That's good for you, man. So
That's
you
very
and Will
good news.
can tear it up on the beaches down there.
Myron, that's a shot. That's a birthday shot today, of all things, not just a regular shot. So every $10 super chat, you can buy me a drink. I would love to do a birthday boot today, $300. Could we potentially make that happen? Here's the first shot of the day, courtesy of Myron. Thank you, my friend. Cheers and go Hogs. There we go. Oliver says, so if he's turning 29 tomorrow, the Kansas City Chiefs are not going to get good news. I see it coming. I I don't understand what you mean by that. Nitsu says, don't let a girlfriend stop you from finding a wife. Happy wife, happy life, as they say. Yeah. I mean, I'm at this point. Now we're just having a reality check at this point. Y'all, at 29, like, I can't be just dating without the intent to marry at this point. I think those days are over with. It might be time for yours truly to finally settle down and stop having fun. First time Super Chats get the Seahawks chant. $5 get a beer cheers. $10 will do some birthday shots. $20 will spin the wheel of punishment. $50 will do a beer pong. $sign next to the chat box if you'd like to contribute. We get $300 today. It's a birthday beer boot. 3 beers in one. We drink it as fast as possible and celebrate accordingly. Now, if you would like a shout-out on today's show and would like to help us and the algorithm out so more people can get here and get involved, spam S in the chat and Big Tex will give you a shout-out. And we want to see who's going to be the early favorite to be the MVP of today's show. Tex moving around the hair, doing that Fabio flow thing, you know.
I got to get on my face so I can read the tiny words. I'm actually going to zoom in real quick, and then I'll give the shout-out.
So if you would like a shout-out from none other than Big Tex, spam S in the chat, and let's get as many S's as we can over this next minute. I'll go ahead and start spamming S right now, and let's have ourselves a day, shall we, my friends?
All right. Still on the Bitcoin thing, man, Lon.
I know.
Wow.
I know. Where am I going to get the money for Bitcoin?
We don't have the money for that.
Yeah. I missed my window on Bitcoin.
Tell me this 10 years ago.
Yeah, I missed the boat on Bitcoin. If you would like a shout out, go ahead and start spamming S. Let's get as many S's as we can over this next minute. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Patricia, Nitsu. Oh, Gingerbread Man. What's up, Beast? How you doing, man? Maybe we'll get you back on the show sometime on a phone call. Myron, Gingerbread Man. Backdoor Savage. That's a dope name. Myron, Gingerbread Man. Nitsu, Backdoor Savage. Myron, Gingerbread Man. Myron, Gingerbread Man. Backdoor. Myron, Gingerbread Man. Backdoor. Nitsu, Backdoor. Let's get some new names in there. Jonathan, Myron, Backdoor. Nitsu, Backdoor. Come on. There, Derek. Lon, Michael, Gingerbread Man. Lon, Juan, Myron, Michael, Nitsu. Lon, Michael, Gingerbread Man, Lon, Nitsu, Backdoor, Chris, there's a new name, Jonathan, Backdoor, Savage, Derek Hawkins, Myron, Gingerbread Man, Backdoor, Myron, Michael, Derek, Backdoor Savage, Lon, Myron, keep going, Gingerbread Man, Derek, Backdoor, Gingerbread Man, Myron, Michael, Derek, keep going, spam those S's, Myron, what's up, Myron, Nitsu,
about 10 more seconds,
Backdoor, Lon, Derek, Jonathan, let's get some new names in there. Keep going. Myron, Cody. There we go. Lon, Nitsu, Cody, Lon. Finish strong. 5 more seconds. Backdoor. Nitsu, Myron, Cody, Michael,
there we
Nitsu.
Go.
Good stuff.
Nice work. Nice work, everybody. We are at 25 likes right now. When we get to 50, I will take my first drink of White Claw. We're going with a peach claw today. Ain't no laws when you are drinking claws, my friends. But we need you to like the video, and then I will open this up, and we can have a party today. We can have not just any party, but a birthday party, as your fearless leader turns 29 years of age today. Help us out. Drop a like. And when you hit that like button, type me in the chat, and I will shout you out for hitting that like button. We could not begin today's show until we get 50 likes. It is that simple, my friends. Hit the like button and type me in the chat when you hit said like button, and we will get this thing going. I see Lamonte has liked the video. Thank you, Lamonte. Who else? 18 more. Who is going to help us out? 17 more. We got Myron liking the video. I got Derek liking the video. Thank y'all. Type me in the chat when you like the video, and I'll shout you guys out. Our first segment today going to be OTA takeaways. Second segment, we're going to talk about signing Gabe Davis. Third segment, we have the latest on Jalen Milroe. And then we'll wrap up today's show with a Q&A mailbag. There is no Madden today because I am off Friday and I was off Monday. We had to catch up on our segments. So our Madden Sim season will resume next week. We'll have 2 Madden games for you, but no Madden today. This will be a news-heavy show today. So if you missed out on our first 2 Madden Sims, you can go back on the channel and watch those, but we'll resume the season. We're already on a bye week from Madden this week. Jonathan liked the video. Nitsu, Cody, Chris, Backdoor Savage. We're at 39 likes now. I need 11 more, and then we can start today's show. If you want to wish me a happy birthday and good luck as I begin year 29, hit that like button. If you love the Seattle Seahawks, if you're glad to be hanging out here on Seahawks Today, hit the like button. We're at 39 right now. I need 11 more, and then I can crack open this drink, and then we could begin today's program. But we need you guys to hit that like button. Who is going to help us out? 39. I need 11 more. I need 11 more. If you're watching this show, you should be hitting the like button. It's that simple. I got 73 people in the building. That means we should be at 73 likes right now. I don't feel like I'm asking too much. We're at 40. I need 10 more. 10 more. 9 more now. Oh God. Cody saying happy birthday. Thank you, Cody. Salute to you. Appreciate it. 8 more likes. 8 more, and then we can start the show. I'm not doing anything else. I'm willing to wait all day, however long it takes, to get to 50 likes. And then we can go forward from there. 44. So we're 6 away. Type me in the chat when you like the video. 4 away now. We're at 46. Who is going to put us there? Who is going to put us there? Mike said happy birthday. Thank you. Myron says, got to let those video game players heal up and rest. Exactly. Yeah, Sam Darnold got hurt last week against the Steelers. Now, he did come back, and the Seahawks did win. But, yeah, got to let the video gamers take off a little bit. Patriot says happy birthday. Chris says, hey, TJ, and we're at 51 likes now. So now I can take a drink. Cheers, everybody. Go Seahawks. Here's to year 29 beginning tomorrow. Cheers. Thank you. All right. Big Tex needs your help. Big Tex, what is it that you are asking from the 12s today?
Phenomenal question. I have a phenomenal answer to give you. And I'm putting it in the chat right now. I'm going to say it out loud. I say this every week, at least once, probably twice if you're a real one. You watch everything. Get your questions in about the Seattle Seahawks. Use hashtag Chiefs, a space, and then your question, or your question, then a space, and hashtag Seahawks together. And I can pull it, and we can answer your question on our mailbag in our 4th segment. Or, if you really want to get on the show and you want to guarantee a spot, you can super chat, send in any amount with your question, and I got to stress this, don't just send in a super chat. Send in the super chat with the question or the comment that you want answered or responded to, and then we can put you at the top of the line at the very beginning of the mailbag with priority. Please make Big Tex's life easier. Thank you.
That's all I ask. Just start submitting questions now. Hashtag Seahawks or Super Chat, and we'll answer your questions in the final segment of today's program. Go ahead and start submitting those questions to us now. All right, let's tell you what's coming up here on this edition of Seattle Seahawks Today. I have my takeaways from the first day of Seahawks OTAs. We'll get you all of those coming up in just a moment. Also, could Seattle sign Gabe Davis? We will discuss that possibility. And we have an update on Jalen Milroe, the latest on the Seahawks rookie quarterback and what his role looks like in Seattle's offense in 2025. And then we'll do a Q&A rumors mailbag as well. Use hashtag Seahawks or Super Chat to get on the mailbag portion of today's show. Swift CX, you didn't use hashtag Seahawks. You used the @ button. You got to use hashtag Seahawks for our software to pull it correctly. So go ahead and copy that question and just add hashtag Seahawks to it, and you'll be good to go. All right. Kyler saying, happy birthday to you. Your cheers. Thank you, Kyler. All right, now, without further ado, yes, let's get started with segment one and get this show on the road, shall we? Happy Wednesday. It is Wednesday happy hour. A little early birthday celebration here on Seahawks Today. Appreciate y'all stopping by and hanging out with us. Let's get started with the latest from OTAs, beginning on this live edition of Seattle Seahawks Today, starting right now. All right, 12s, let's make a statement to begin today's show. If you want the Seattle Seahawks to win the NFC West, all I need you to do is hit the like button. Let's get some good vibes, good energy going. We're less than 100 days away from kickoff now, folks. Smash that like button. If we get 500 likes today, I guarantee there's a division title coming to Seattle. Let's make it happen. Hit that like button. We'll get started with this edition of Seattle Seahawks Today, starting right now. Glad to have you with us here on Seahawks Today. I am your fearless leader, Tyler Jones, here with you. Thanks for joining us. We have the latest update from Seahawks OTAs, as we are going to give you our takeaways as we're a couple of days into this now, and we have heard from a number of your favorite Seahawks already: Julian Love, Riq Woolen, Kupp. We will let you hear what they had to say and react to it coming up here on today's show. What we're going to do is I got some quotes that we're going to go over and kind of break down how things look for Seattle and what's so fascinating when it comes to OTAs. I know some people, especially the casual fan out there, may be wondering what is significant about OTAs. Well, for one, this is the first time that we get to see everybody all in one place. Now, it is voluntary. You don't have to be there. Nothing is mandatory until we get to mandatory minicamp here in a couple of weeks from right now. But this is a chance for everybody to kind of see each other for the first time. There's no live contact going on, but it is significant, especially on the offensive side of the ball as they install this new offensive scheme under OC Klint Kubiak. Let's start with the defensive side of the ball, though. Devon Witherspoon entering his third season in Seattle, and he is already bringing the boom. That's what we do. You guys know what I did there. Bringing the intensity to this Seahawks defense. He has been so electrifying in his first two seasons in Seattle. And as the Hawks begin OTAs, he's not backing down by any stretch of the imagination. John Boyle of Seahawks.com had this report. As the Seahawks simulated a 2-minute drill situation during Tuesday's opening session of organized team activities, an offensive player jumped before the snap, a penalty that had cornerback Devon Witherspoon demonstrating that he is in midseason form when it comes to talking trash. Moments later, one of his teammates broke up a pass. Witherspoon was at it again, bringing regular season intensity to a voluntary workout taking place on a postcard perfect late afternoon in May on the shores of Lake Washington. Is anyone surprised by this? This is who Spoon is. He is so competitive, and he brings the energy in everything he does. And, you know, with some players, there is a question mark about effort and who actually cares. And Devon Witherspoon, I never have to worry about that with him. He is always going to give 100% effort and be a fantastic teammate. And even when he's trash talking here with the offense, it's all in good fun. All right? He's not putting the offense down. He's getting his own guys fired up. So I love seeing that already from Devon Witherspoon. I have high expectations for him in 2025, and I think he's going to have a great season and be the best player on this entire roster. I think that's what Devon Witherspoon is in 2025, becomes that dude. as the kids would say. I'm about to turn 29 tomorrow. People are already calling me Unk. I got to use the lingo, like the Gen Zers if I'm going to be an Unk these days. Is Devon Witherspoon the Seahawks' best player? It's our pinned comment today. You got two options here. Type Y for yes, in for no. Sound off in the comment section. You might get an ad break while the ad's playing. Weigh in and let me know what you think. Feeling the love. Can you feel the love tonight? The Julian Love. Julian Love is excited. He's entering his third season with the Hawks defense as well. He had a Pro Bowl nod his first year. Last year was a very strong season as well. He's been one of the most consistent players on this defense. And for a guy like Julian Love, he knows the defensive scheme. He's one of the best players on this defense. He doesn't have to be here by any stretch of the imagination. If he had an excuse to not be here, I don't think anybody would be too upset about it. But he's still bringing it when it comes to OTAs. Here's what he had to say on the first OTA practice. It's exciting. The first period, the two sides were talking stuff to each other. Everyone's just excited. We've been doing drills. Coaches have been in the office the past few months, and now we get some football action. See the ball in the air. You can just tell the juice was flowing for sure. There's a sense of appreciation to be out there in a jersey repping. It's just always fun when you're back into it. The offseason is enjoyable. Everyone's relaxing, but when you're back in football, it's just like riding a bike. You're just back with your guys having fun and competing. And I think he's the leader of this DB room. Devon Witherspoon might be the best defensive back, but Julian Love is the sounding board. He is the guy that they are relying on to be that veteran presence. And it was fascinating for Julian Love when you had the departures of Quandre Diggs and Jamal Adams last year. We wondered who was going to step up and take on that veteran presence of that vocal leader in that secondary room. And Julian Love has been that guy, and I'm excited that he's here. And, I mean, with Nick Emmanwori now a part of the equation, I can't think of a better guy that I'd rather have him work with to learn the position and how to carry himself and do all the little things than what Julian Love's going to do. I think they're going to be great for each other. Folks, want to make sure you're subscribed to Seattle Seahawks Today as we bring you our daily news and rumors, sometimes 2 and 3 videos a day, live shows each and every week on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays now. We're doing Madden Sims as well for every single Seahawks game this season. If you love the Hawks, you've come to the right place. You got to be subscribed. We're closing in on 68,000 subscribers. I want you to be the next subscriber to Seattle Seahawks Today. Doesn't cost you a thing. 100% free. YouTube.com/Seahawks TV. Subscribe now. Stay up to date with everything. We got you covered here on the channel. Let's stay on defense and in the defensive back room. Riq Woolen. Riq Woolen entering his 4th season. This is going to be a very telling season for Riq Woolen. We've seen him have the highs of highs and the lows of lows. It's been a lot of peaks and valleys for Riq in his time with the team. And one of the things that is being talked about, according to Riq, is the chemistry. And I think we all really saw this with how this defense emerged in the second half of last year. Riq said it's just a lot of fun. It's different from going defense on defense. It feels good to be out there competing and getting the chemistry together. And look, you can't fake chemistry, all right? Whether it's in life with a significant other or if it's on the football field and the people you work with. And for Riq Woolen, I think this year is going to be huge for him because it's a contract year. He's trying to prove why he should get paid and stick around. And at the very least, if you want to help your cause of proving why you should stick around and why you deserve to get paid, being a good teammate does not hurt by any stretch of the imagination. And I think Riq gets that, and I think that's going to help him along the way in this big year that I expect from him, and that he'll do a really good job. And Mike McDonald will be very pleased. And McDonald's been a big fan of Riq since day one, and I think that's going to continue. What do you think of this defense? We're going to talk about the offensive side of the ball here in just a moment, but how would you grade the defensive group? A, B, C, D, or F. Get your grades in, whip out that red pen, and let us know in the comment section below. Number 4 on our takeaways, Cooper Kupp, one of the newest members of the Seattle Seahawks. My cup runneth over. Cooper Kupp comes in from the Los Angeles Rams, making a return to his home state of Washington. And this is a big change for Cooper Kupp, right? He's playing for a new team for the first time in his career. A new system, a new quarterback, a change of scenery and all assets. But even with that said, Cooper Kupp is coming in saying all the right things. He is very confident in his belief in this offense and what they're going to do in 2025. Here's what he had to say on Kubiak's scheme. I just believe in this style of offense, what it is, the detail that's involved in making it happen. I think it's the kind of offense you have to run if you want to win championships. We've got guys across the board, and guys are bought into and are starting to understand what we're trying to get done. It's exciting to bring that stuff alive. And, I'll say another thing, too. We'll get back to Cooper Kupp in just one moment, but let me say this. This offensive scheme, it's fascinating hearing guys like Cooper Kupp and all that talk about the buy-in. I think he's going to thrive here because Klint Kubiak is walking into a much different situation than he initially signed up for. I think we all knew Tyler Lockett was going to be gone, but the DK trade was a surprise to many. You heard Kubiak speak glowingly of Geno Smith when he was signed, and he was looking forward to working from him. And so to have this change in personnel for Kubiak, guys like Cooper Kupp, Sam Darnold, MVS, and others, and the buy-in is still there, that even with this being, okay, maybe Klint has to change some things, or it's a little different than he thought things were going to go, everyone is still on the same page. And Cooper Kupp, as long as he stays healthy, I think he's going to have a fantastic season with this Seahawks offense and play a crucial role in their success here in 2025. And I'm very confident that it just comes down to the health. If he does that, he's going to be great. What's your confidence level in Cooper Kupp? Scale it for me, 1 through 10. Be honest. How do you think Cooper Kupp is going to do in 2025? I feel pretty good. I'm a little concerned on the injuries. He's a bit older, but when he's healthy, he's still one of the best receivers in football, I think. I'll go with about an 8 out of 10. What's your confidence level? Weigh in and let us know. We've gone this far without talking about QB1. We saved the best for last. Sam Darnold, the new starting quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks, taking over from Geno Smith, signing from the Minnesota Vikings, and he is already taking command of this new offense, leading the way and taking charge. And it's interesting with Sam Darnold, too, because he's already worked with Klint Kubiak and he knows this scheme. He is going to be a part of the process of teaching this offense to everyone else and catching them up to speed on what he already knows. And he's impressing Cooper Kupp in this process already. Kupp said this on Darnold. He's awesome. He's been great in terms of having a little bit of familiarity with the offense coming into this. The insights that he shares and the confidence he has to be able to say, hey, these are things that we have to work in this offense in terms of how we've operated and how he's operated, being able to collaborate together and figure out what that looks like for us as we put this team together, this skill group, this offensive line, this quarterback group, and we get together and we figure out what we're going to be about. To be able to have that collaborative talking, it's been really good. And honestly, that's what I expected from Sam Darnold. We have never heard a complaint about the person Sam Darnold is. There have been some people that maybe weren't too pleased with how things went with the Jets and the Carolina Panthers. But I think most people realize that that was not Sam Darnold's fault, that he was put in a position to fail, and the talent around him was not very good, and he was dealing with poor coaching staffs there. But now coming into Seattle, a fresh start, off of a fantastic season, he's only going to go up from there and build from this. I think the version that we saw of Sam Darnold in Minnesota in 2024 is here to stay from this point forward. If you enjoyed today's show, you already know what to do. Hit that like button. We certainly would appreciate it. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time here on Seahawks Today. All right. 1 down, 3 to go. Is Devon Witherspoon the Seahawks' best player right now? Y for yes, N for no. Chime in the comments section and tell us what you think. We'll catch up on Super Chats here in just a moment. Here's the Super Chat menu. Yours truly, getting another year older tomorrow, so this is my de facto birthday celebration with the 12s today. First-time Super Chatters get the Seahawks chant. $5, give you a beer cheers. $10, take some shots. $20, spin the wheel of punishment. $50, we'll do a beer bong. And a birthday boot would be nice if we can make that happen. Got to get to 300 to get there. We're at 30 right now, so we're 10% of the way. $sign next to the chat box if you would like to contribute. And your questions will get answered in the mailbag segment. You get priority for that there. Chris with a $10 super chat. That is a shot, says Legion of Spoon. I like it. Everybody wants to bring back the Legion of Boom. But Legion of Spoon has a nice ring to it, too. I like that, Chris. Chris, cheers to you. Oh, there we go. Backdoor Savage with a $10 super chat. Do you think a corner like Jalen Ramsey will put the defense in the elite category, or a defensive end like Trey Hendrickson? Who do you think is more likely to be acquired? Great question, Backdoor Savage, and I owe you a shot for that. We'll pay that off here in just a moment. I think that either one could put Seattle in elite status, but I think the most likely option between those two is Trey Hendrickson. I think that the corner room is solid, especially if Nick Emmanwori is going to play some corner too. But the defensive line, outside linebacker unit with Trey Hendrickson could go to a whole nother level of this defense in the production. And Trey Hendrickson is a better player than what Jalen Ramsey is at this point in his career. So I think Hendrickson would be the better and more likely option there as far as that goes. But it's a great question, Backdoor Savage. Thanks for the $10 super chat. That's another shot. Cheers to you. There we go. Super chat menu goes as follows. First time super chatters get the Seahawks chant. $5, give you a beer cheers. $10, take some shots. $20, spin the wheel of punishment. And $50, we will do a beer bong $sign next to the chat box if you would like to contribute and take part in today's program. Up next, let's talk Gabe Davis. And then we'll talk Jalen Milroe and then do a Q&A and rumors mailbag to follow after that. More to come. 3 more segments to go as we roll along here in this live edition of Seattle Seahawks Today. Jonesy, Big Tex here with you. Thanks for hanging out with us. Let's go ahead and get started right now here on Seahawks Today. Could Gabe Davis end up in Seattle? Is he the wide receiver the Seattle Seahawks have been waiting for? Welcome into this edition of Seattle Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk more about Davis here in just a moment, but first, folks, it is my favorite time of year, my friends. It is the Summer of Jones. And yours truly already got things started last weekend in Chicago. This weekend, I'm going to be living my best life at South Padre Island, celebrating year 29 beginning this weekend. And whether it's updates from the Summer of Jones or coverage on your Seattle Seahawks, I got it all over on IG at Tyler Jones Live. And I highly recommend that you follow me over there. In fact, the first 10 people to follow me from today's show, I will give you a follow back on IG because I feel like doing that. Here is the official photo for the Summer of Jones this year. Make sure to be a part. Let's Jones around together and have a great summer at Tyler Jones Live. You can follow along all the action as it'll be the best one yet. Year 10 of the Summer of Jones. Crazy. Time is flying by, my friends. Give me a follow, and we'll continue here on Seahawks Today. Gabe Davis. Could he be on his way to Seattle? Well, if you ask the folks at Bleacher Report, they are saying that the next move the Seahawks should make is signing Davis in NFL free agency. Let's hear more from Mo Motton of Bleacher Report, who writes the following. The Seahawks have enough room to add another big play wideout to the offense. Wideout Cooper Kupp is an injury-prone possession receiver who has missed 18 games over the last 3 years and averaged 10.6 yards per catch last season. Marquez Valdez-Scantling averages a career 17.4 yards per reception, but he has an alarming 49.5% catch rate. I've told you about this. Davis has been inconsistent and couldn't find his groove in the Jacksonville Jaguars' aerial attack last season, yet he would be a solid number 3 option in the Seahawks passing attack and primary big play target if Valdez-Scantling isn't able to carry over his momentum from the previous season in Klint Kubiak's system. Because of Kupp's injury history, Seattle needs quality depth at receiver behind Jackson Smith and Jigba. Davis has missed more than 2 games in a single term once in 5 years and averages 16.2 yards per catch. This, my friends, is not a bad idea at all to potentially sign Gabe Davis. I would feel a lot better about this passing attack if Gabe Davis is involved. And look, the Seahawks have had a lot to replace. Moving on from DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, JSN's expected to take on a bigger role. You got Cooper Kupp, who I still think is a good receiver, but he is older and he's had some injury issues. I'm not so high in MVS. I think Horton's got potential, but he is just a rookie. This, I think, would kind of put you at ease. Like, okay, we're all right. Things are going to work here. I think he's much better than MVS. All right? And most of you know I am not a fan of MVS, and I have explained this about 1,000 times, but I'll give you the short version. The Chiefs' receiving core was not good. He still got cut. Was asked to take on a big role, couldn't accomplish it. Goes to Buffalo. Their receiving core was not that great. Was asked to take on a big role, couldn't accomplish that. He got cut. The Chiefs and Bills, who had average to bad receiving cores, he wasn't even good enough for them. Why would he be good enough for Seattle? So we've gone over that now. Moving on. With that said, Gabe Davis could offer something different because when you talk about MVS, I think realistically, because we mentioned the catch rate not being so great, the best thing that he actually offers is an occasional defensive pass interference penalty downfield, taking advantage of one of the best penalties, I think, in the NFL. I think college has it wrong by only going 15 yards. I like the spot foul in the NFL. That's something you can work with MVS. That's the best thing he could do. With Gabe Davis, I could actually stretch the field and get production, not just penalties. This passing game could be lethal all of a sudden. Assuming the offensive line does its part, then I got some real weapons. Then I feel a little bit better about the position that I'm using MVS for. I'm not asking him to be my number 3 all of a sudden. Gabe Davis, I think, would be a very solid number 3 receiver. And then you have MVS there. Then you have Horton, and all of a sudden you're cooking with bacon grease here. Should the Seahawks sign Gabe Davis? You got 2 options here. Type S for sign, P for pass, your chance to be the GM. Weigh in, tell me what you think. Seahawks Today is bringing you elite Seahawks coverage each and every day here on the channel with our daily news and rumors. We have live shows 3 days a week on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 o'clock Pacific time. We're bringing you breaking news, Q&A mailbags. It's all right here. I need you to subscribe and make sure that you are alerted when we have new content here on the channel. Best part about it, it's 100% free. Doesn't cost you a thing. YouTube.com/Seahawks TV. Let's get at least 20 subs off today's video. Subscribe now. When I look back at 2024, it was not a good year for Gabe Davis. It was the worst season of his career. But I don't think 2024 should define him. I can give him a mulligan for last season. The Jags were a mess last year. And, they fired their head coach, Doug Peterson. Trevor Lawrence didn't quite look right. There was just a lot of other factors going on compared to when he was in Buffalo, when he was very solid in a good situation. So I think that is worth noting. You can give him the benefit of the doubt there. More on Gabe Davis, a 2020 fourth-round pick out of UCF, the Knights by the Bills. Went to Jacksonville this past season. Got a pretty good, decent amount of guaranteed money, was released. But in his time in Buffalo, he had 4 seasons where he had at least 545 receiving yards and 6 receiving touchdowns. And so if I can get that type of production out of my number 3 receiver, then that's really good. Here's what we're talking about statistically with Gabe Davis. His best season, you go back to 2022, not too long ago, 48 catches, 836 yards, 7 touchdowns, 17.4 yards reception. 2023 was pretty good too. 45 catches, 746 yards, 16.6 yards reception, 7 touchdowns. If you got the version of Gabe Davis that we saw in 2022 or 2023, those would be pretty on par with what we saw from Tyler Lockett and trying to replace Lockett's production in this Seattle offense. I think he still has more to offer at this point in his career. I don't think that folks should throw in the towel on Gabe Davis just yet. And part of it, he's still very young. He's not washed. He's not old. He's just 26. I remember when I was 26. Life was good. And life is good for Gabe Davis, too. And his market value, we are estimating that he would not command a ton of cash. Just about $3.5 million is all that he could take, as he's still getting plenty of money from the Jacksonville Jaguars from that guaranteed deal they gave him last year. And it's not a money issue for Seattle either. They have about 31.73 in cap space at this point in time. So with that said, free agency, we got the June 1 roster cups coming around the corner. Plenty more players are about to be available. Who is a player the Seahawks should sign? Whether it's Gabe Davis or if it's somebody else out there, give me a name that you would like to see in Seattle. Chime in that comment section. Tell me what you think. Got a great deal we're offering here, folks. Darius Rucker. I love me some Darius Rucker. Wagon Wheel. Great song. Darius Rucker, one of the absolute best. I don't know how many people know this. He is a diehard Seattle Seahawks fan. Darius Rucker is. I would love to see him raise the 12th man flag sometime. Well, guess what? Darius Rucker has some brand new Seahawks gear available. Some Western Seahawks gear. Look, if you know me, I love country music. I'm an urban cowboy, if I'd say so myself. I would be rocking this thing. I might have to get this myself. I'm dead serious. And whether you're an urban cowboy or you're enjoying yourself out in the sticks somewhere in Western Washington, you can be rocking this thing in maybe it's, in the cornfields or maybe at the nightclub, whatever it may be. This thing looks fantastic. And it's on sale, too. Up to 40% off at chatsports.com/Darius. Why would you not want to get this? We have every size imaginable for you. And we also have other Seahawks gear available at that same link. Go see for yourself. Chatsports.com/Darius. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. Check it out now. Chatsports.com/Darius. All right, as we're wrapping up here, a couple final points that I'll add on this when it comes to Gabe Davis. If you sign him for the little money that we're projecting, about $3.5 million, what do you have to lose at this juncture? $3.5 million is nothing. It is a low risk with a potential high reward if you're Seattle. And it all comes back to the quarterback position with Sam Darnold. You want to set up Sam Darnold for success and put him in the best position possible. You don't want to leave any stone unturned. And if I'm John Schneider, the way I look at it, Sam Darnold the contract that's structured for him, there's an opt-out basically after this year where the Seahawks can get out of the contract if they want to. I want to say, if I'm John Schneider and Mike McDonald, Sam, we gave you everything. All right? We set you up with a solid receiving core. We improved the offensive line. We got good running backs. What did you do with it? I don't want to be having a conversation in February and March where Seattle's trying to figure out what to do with Sam Darnold, and you're saying to yourself, well, if only Sam had a better receiving core, then maybe it would have been a different story. Let's avoid that before we can. Not to mention, big picture, beyond just Sam Darnold here, put the best product you possibly can out there. And that's what Gabe Davis can potentially do. You look at this receiving core right now. JSN is fantastic. Cooper Kupp's really good. I have my doubts about MVS. And then beyond that, you got a whole lot to figure out. But Gabe Davis could make this situation feel much more at ease if you're Seattle here. Do you believe in the Seahawks offense? You got two options here. Type B for believe. D for don't. 12s, weigh in the comment section. Tell me how you feel one way or the other. Follow me on IG at Tyler Jones Live as we roll along the Summer of Jones. You can see more Seahawks updates and also on my endeavors throughout the months ahead at Tyler Jones Live. Appreciate you joining us. We'll see you next time. All right. 2 down, 2 to go. We are halfway home, my friends. Up next, we're talking Jalen Milroe, and then we'll do a Q&A Rumors mailbag. Use hashtag Seahawks or Super Chat to get on the mailbag. Should the Seahawks sign Gabe Davis? S for sign, P for pass. What do you guys think? What do you think of the idea of Gabe Davis? It's our poll question right now. 66% of you going yes, 34% saying no. I see Ancient is saying yes. Let's see. What else we got here? Yes, S for sign, P for pass. Tell me what you think in the comments section. Super Chat menu. It is a birthday party today for yours truly. I am turning 29 tomorrow, and we're celebrating accordingly. First time Super Chatters get the Seahawks chant. $5, we'll do a beer cheers. $10, doing some birthday shots. I got plenty of tequila on hand. I would love to go home with a buzz tonight. I'm not going to lie. $20, we'll spin the wheel of punishment. $50, we'll do a beer bong. $sign next to the chat box if you would like to get on today's show and make it happen. Let's have ourselves a day today. And for our mailbag segment, Super Chat's a good priority. We will answer your questions first that you guys send in. Let's talk Jalen Milroe now, the rookie quarterback. We have a fascinating update to get to, courtesy of Michael Sean Duggar of The Athletic. We'll talk about that. And then we will get to our Q&A Rumors mailbag as well. More to come as we roll along here on Seahawks Today. Let's talk about Jalen Milroe right now. Welcome into this edition of Seattle Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. I am your fearless leader, Tyler Jones, here with you. Thanks for joining us. Today, we're talking all about Jalen Milroe as his role for 2025 has been defined. We'll tell you what it is and dissect Jalen Milroe and get to know him a little bit further coming up here on today's program. Before we do, folks, let's show some love to Jalen Milroe. I always make a point when we have new players in Seattle, I want to make sure our voices are heard loud and clear that we're supporting these guys. Typically what happens on this show, folks, is when a new player comes in, whether it's them personally or their family or their friends, you know what they're doing? They're watching Seahawks Today. They're seeing what the media and what the fan base has to say about them. And I want to make sure everybody knows that we're rooting on Jalen Milroe, that we wish him nothing but the best, and we're glad to have him here in Seattle. Spam 6 in the comment section. That's the number he's going to be wearing. Get those 6s in. Let's get at least 300 of them. Show some love to Jalen Milroe, and we'll get started with today's show. So what is ahead for Jalen Milroe? with this Seahawks team in 2025. A lot of questions about what that entails. Is he a quarterback? Is he going to compete for the starting job? How much playing time will we see, if any at all? A lot of questions out there. Well, let's start with what Mike Macdonald said recently. He was asked, all right, is he a quarterback? Is he a Taysom Hill type? Because there was a lot of people that were comparing him to Taysom Hill in the pre-draft process. And Macdonald made it very clear. He is a quarterback for us. With all due respect to Taysom Hill, he is not going to play a Taysom Hill type of role. Macdonald said this: the way the Saints used Hill was more of a tight end fullback hybrid role, sometimes taking snaps. Jalen is a quarterback through and through. He's going to be trained to play quarterback for us. When he's in there, he's going to be playing quarterback, but the athleticism is going to come to life when he's on the field. So that was from Mike Macdonald not too long ago. Now let's get into the new update, the report from the Athletics' Michael Sean Duggar. Expect to see Jalen Milroe on the football field this year as a rookie. What does that look like? Here's more from Sean Duggar. Milroe wasn't drafted to just sit and watch as a rookie, though. The plan is for Milroe to earn a chance to play in year one. Okay? So now I got to do my best Brian Windhorst impression. So what does that mean? Very interesting. What exactly is his role then? Well, he's not going to be the starter. Let's go ahead and take that out the window here. He is not threatening Sam Darnold for his job. Sam Darnold is the starter. There is no quarterback competition here. But with that said, there is still a very important role on the field for Jalen Milroe, even though he's not the starting quarterback and he's not a Taysom Hill type. Stay tuned. I'll tell you what that is here in just a bit. That's what we call a tease in the biz, my friends. Do you believe in Jalen Milroe? Be honest with me. You got two options here. You might get an ad break while the ad's playing. Get your votes in. Let me know what you think. B for believe. D for don't. Are you all in on Jalen Milroe? Chime in the comments section and tell us if you believe in Milroe or not. So what is that role exactly? Well, Seahawks fans, do you remember a guy by the name of Trey Lance? Former number 3 pick out of North Dakota State by the San Francisco 49ers. Now, Trey Lance, things did not go well for him in San Francisco. He replaced Jimmy Garoppolo, struggled to stay healthy, and it was not great. But with that said, his first year as a QB in San Fran behind Garoppolo, he saw the football field a decent amount in a significant role. And as described by Michael Sean Duggar of The Athletic, this is something that is going to be what you saw from Trey Lance, similar to what we saw from what we're going to see from Jalen Milroe, as he's simply too athletic not to be out there. Here's more from Michael Sean Duggar. Milroe's role may become clearer as the Seahawks mix the rookies in with the veterans during organized team activities. A 2-quarterback system with a specific package for the backup isn't uncommon, but it will take time to implement and fine-tune. San Francisco had what may prove to be a comparable setup in 2021 when Jimmy Garoppolo was QB1 and the team had a package for rookie Trey Lance. When both quarterbacks were healthy, Lance played a handful of snaps, mostly in red zone and short yardage situations. Will Milroe's workload look the same? The 49ers had an already established offensive system with Garoppolo at the time, whereas Darnold and offensive coordinator Klint Kubiak are building something fresh on a new team with a host of new faces at quarterback, wide receiver, offensive line, and the coaching staff. This makes a ton of sense if you're the Seattle Seahawks to do it this way of carving out that Trey Lance type of role for him, where you're not asking him to be the starter, but you're not ignoring his athleticism and his talent level, where It's too good to not be used in a significant capacity. And honestly, I think this is going to make life easier on Sam Darnold. Look, Sam Darnold, he's not the greatest runner in the world. All right? Whether you're running the tush push or quarterback sneak, or if it's a wildcat package, I don't need Sam to be doing that. I don't need to be risking injury. I can put a more athletic, better runner out there in Jalen Milroe and keep the offense moving and help out Sam. The old adage goes, if you have two starting quarterbacks, you have no starting quarterback. And it might be the most true statement in all of American tackle football. But for Seattle here, this role is not asking him to be a starter. This is not a quarterback competition. This is an accessory. Okay? And we've seen this at all levels. Tim Tebow was very successful at Florida doing this with Chris Lake as the starting quarterback, and the Gators went on to win a national title. We've seen it in the high school ranks, the NFL ranks. This can work, and I think they have something figured out potentially to get the most out of both their talent levels. Now, long term, Jalen Milroe could eventually replace Sam Darnold. That's a possibility. Who do you believe is the real QB of the future? Is it Sam or is it Jalen? I think this is going to be a debate that's going to be fascinating for a long time. I'm not trying to divide the fan base here, but where do you stand? Who do you see being more likely to be the long-term option for this Seahawks team? If it's Darnold, type SD for Sam Darnold. If it's Jalen Milroe, type JM for Jalen Milroe. Tell me in the comments section below. Seahawks Today is bringing you the best Seahawks coverage around with our daily news and rumors, sometimes 2 and 3 videos a day, live shows 3 days a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We also are bringing you breaking news. Even when I'm on the road or in the studio, we got you covered. Q&A mailbags. We got Madden Sims throughout the offseason for every single Seahawks game. Subscribe now. Turn on notifications. Lock us in. Best part about it, 100% free. Let's get at least 20 subs off today's video. YouTube.com/Seahawks TV. Subscribe now. You'll be glad you did. Now, let me say this. For the crowd out there that is all in on Jalen Milroe and you want to see him beat out Sam Darnold and be the starter. The truth of the matter, and even Nick Saban said this at the draft, and we showed you a quote from Saban a couple days ago. Jalen Milroe is a project. He is far from a finished product, but he has probably the highest ceiling of any quarterback in this draft. He is not ready to be a day one starter at this point in time. Could he be down the line? That's certainly possible. But today is not that day. But that doesn't mean he can't be an impact player. That doesn't mean his skill set can't be used in some capacity here. You think about, like, his time at Alabama. He was a starter for 2 years. And that's not a long time. And we saw the good and we saw the bad from Jalen Milroe. I didn't see enough consistently from Jalen Milroe where I say, yeah, he's got to be my guy right now. When his first year as the starter, he got benched, went on to go to the college football playoff that season to turn things around. And then his second season was up and down, just a lot of inconsistency, especially when it comes to his passing abilities here. But that doesn't mean he can't be great at some point, but he's not that guy yet, and that's okay. You look at his scouting report, he can make the big plays on the run. He's got dynamic arm talents. He's well built. He looks like he's straight out of a lab. He's got a sharp release, like the sharper image. But there are the accuracy concerns, and he's going to need some refinement, working with Klint, working with Sam to get to where he needs to go. But with that said, that doesn't mean he can't get there. And here's what we're talking about. The numbers tell this story too. 23 touchdowns, 6 picks, not bad. But then why? Why did he take a step back in 2024? I've yet to hear a good explanation of why another year older, playing with a lot of good talent on that Bama team. Jamison Williams was one of the best freshman receivers I've ever seen in college football, and your numbers went down passing-wise with arguably a better receiving core than what he had the year before. What happened, Jalen? There's work to be done. But here's the flip side of the positives. You can't ignore what he's done as an athlete. 20 rushing touchdowns last year. I don't care if he was playing against little sisters of redheaded stepchild children. That's impressive. 726 yards. And he did that in the Southeastern Conference, a league where it means more. The best conference in college football. That's impressive. The passing numbers, maybe not so much. Will we see him this year? We potentially could at some point if something happens to Sam Darnold or if he struggles. Do you think Jalen Milroe starts at least one game this season at quarterback for Seattle? Predict it for me. Y for yes. In for no. Weigh in and let me know. This could be fun. I mean, there is, I think, something intriguing, fascinating about a young quarterback that has a lot to prove that we don't know. There is a great unknown here. At the end of the day, well, I have some skepticism, and I think everything I've said here is fair. I don't think I've said anything that's been out of bounds or inaccurate by any stretch of the imagination. I think about 99% of my loyal Seahawks Today viewers, where I come in every day and I'm your fearless leader, agree with what I'm saying here, that there are flaws to Jalen's game and that he's got a ways to go. But I'm rooting him on and can't wait to see what he does in 2025, potentially beyond after that. If you made it to the end of today's video, that means you are a real one, a real member of the 12s. Spam 12 in the comments section. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time here on Seahawks Today. All right. There we go. One more segment to go. Our Q&A Rumors mailbag. Use hashtag Seahawks or Super Chat to get on the mailbag portion of today's show. Who is the quarterback of the future? Is it Sam Darnold? Is it Jalen Milroe? Big Tex, I want to hear your input on this. We haven't heard from you much today. You've been awfully quiet over there. You've seen a lot of both these guys.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, when we're not just this year but beyond? If I tell Big Tex he's got to place a bet on who's more likely to be that guy long term, who's your bet on right now?
How old is Sam Darnold?
Sam Darnold is what, 26?
I think that's right. That's pretty young still. Right now.
Let's see. He's 27 now.
Okay. If I had to hedge my bets in this moment, I'm going to say Sam Darnold because I've seen a lot of both of them. I take it back for Milroe to college when he played against Texas. I think he threw 2 first-half interceptions.
That was a bad night for him.
That was a bad night. He got picked off by
That's the game that got him benched.
That's right. Barron picked him off the first round pick last year. But I've seen a lot more Darnold because I used to work with Patrick Seatman on Vikings Now, and we did some watch parties with Sam Darnold, I remember. Or at least we did some VODs talking about it and going through his tape. And I remember he spoke really highly of him and his transition from being a questionable starting quarterback to a really great one last year and a Pro Bowler. 30-plus touchdowns. And obviously he has Justin Jefferson, but now you got Jackson Smith and Jigba. And if you can sign Gabe Davis or another good third option to replace Tyler Lockett, I think Sam Darnold's the future. I think Jalen Milroe could sit for a couple of years and be the next future after Sam Darnold. But I think the current future quarterback is Sam Darnold. I think they signed him for a reason. I think Milroe is going to be the tush-push guy this year.
That's fine.
That's totally fine.
Totally fine.
Learn the system.
Who is the QB of the future? SD for Sam Darnold, JM for Jalen Milroe. Gingerbread Man says Sam Darnold. Lai says Jalen Milroe. J. Cole saying Jalen Milroe. Is that the J. Cole in the chat? Myron says Sam for now. We got one more segment remaining, our Q&A and Rumors mailbag coming up next. But first, want to make sure you guys super chat us. This is your chance to get some screen time. Maybe you want to wish me a happy birthday, whatever it may be. Feel free to send us a super chat. First time super chatters get the Seahawks chant. $5 will do a beer cheers. $10 take some birthday shots. $20 spin the wheel of punishment. $50 will do a beer bong. And if we reach 300 in Super Chats today, we could do a boot for my birthday. What better way to start year 29 than drinking 3 beers and one potentially? $sign next to the chat box if you'd like to contribute and make that happen. Now, with the mailbag coming, I'm going to put 2 minutes on the clock. I think I need about 2 or 3 more questions to get this mailbag started. Don't make me wait, folks. I got places to be. I got things to do. No, this is OTAs. Yeah. Get your questions in. Hashtag Seahawks or Super Chat, and we'll answer them here in a moment. Yeah, exactly. Myron, get a question in the mailbag. Big Tex says that you need to get a question in. He wants to hear from you. Hashtag Seahawks or Super Chat. Give me about 2 or 3 more questions, and then we can do this final segment before we wrap up and call it a day. About 2 or 3 more questions. There we go. Tasty with a good question. That'll work. Thank you, Tasty. Now I need 1 or 2 more. 1 or 2 more, and then we'll be ready to go. Okay. Yeah. Not Chris. We can do Myron, though. Myron and Backdoor Savage, yeah. Give me about 1 or 2 more questions, then we can start the mailbag, my friends. Okay. That's good. Let's see. J. Cole says, happy birthday. God bless you. Jesus Christ be with you, bro. Thank you, J. Cole. Thank you. Peace be with you. Yes. I do love Jesus. Jesus is my guy. It's interesting that the Spanish, they name their kids Jesus, but you'll never find an American kid named Jesus. How does that happen? How does that work? Lon's asking when training camp starts. When does training camp start? I'll look that up. Oh, super chat from Myron and then Ryan as well. We'll answer those super chats. Yeah, let's go ahead and pay those off now, and then I'll go further in depth in them on the mailbag. Yeah, you're good. You're good. Let's see. Okay. Myron asking about the offensive line situation. Offensive line's improved. Gray Zabel's going to play left guard. Still trying to figure out who's going to be the right guard for Seattle. Could be Bradford, could be Haynes, could be Lumea. Maybe they sign somebody, but that is where we stand right now as far as that goes, Myron. That is a shot, though. Another birthday shot. Thank you, Myron, for that. Cheers to you. Then we'll have more coming up in just a bit. Ryan Nelson with a $2 super chat. Give us a 5-step plan to get to the playoffs. I'll go over that in the mailbag. I'll go over that a little more in depth in the mailbag of a 5-step plan to get in the playoffs. Let me look up one thing. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Now I'm good to go. All right. Without further ado, my friends, it is mailbag time. Let's get started with our final segment, and then we'll wrap things up after that as we continue here on this live edition of Seattle Seahawks Today. Mailbag time starts right now. Here we go. It is time to touch our bags and drop our sacks on this mailbag edition of Seattle Seahawks Today. Tyler Jones, your fearless leader, here with you. Thanks for joining us. You got questions, you're in luck because I got answers for you, folks. I already took kind of a sneak peek into this week's mailbag. You guys are asking me about trading for Mark Andrews, Curtis Samuel. We got some free agency questions. Also, an update on OTAs. We'll go over all of that coming up on today's program. Let's begin with a $10 super chat from Myron, who writes in, happy early birthday. Thank you, Myron. I'm 29 years young, 29 and feeling fine, Myron. Have a great time on your trip. Headed off to South Padre Island this weekend, where even though I'm close to 30 now, just a year away, that doesn't make me feel good at all. I will be feeling like I'm 21 again. Give us the latest. I'll update you on my travels, Myron. You can follow me on X and Facebook and IG at Tyler Jones Live as the Summer of Jones continues for your fearless leader, Myron. Thank you. Backdoor Savage writes in with a $10 super chat. Do you think a cornerback like Jalen Ramsey will put the defense in the elite category, or a DN like Trey Hendrickson, who is more likely to be acquired? So we're recording this on Wednesday, and at the time of this recording, both players have not been moved just yet, although there have been some rumblings that Jalen Ramsey could be on the move here sooner than later. With that said, I think Hendrickson is a better player than Jalen Ramsey is right now, and I think with just the amount of sacks that Trey Hendrickson puts in year out, he can have a bigger impact than what Jalen Ramsey can have as a corner at this point. He would cost more, a lot more, than Jalen Ramsey would, but I would think that if you're going to have to choose between the two, I'd lean towards Trey Hendrickson being that guy potentially. But it's a great question, Backdoor Savage. Myron says, give us the latest in the offensive line. The offensive line situation, Charles Cross back at the left tackle spot after a big year last year. Left guard is going to be Gray Zabel. I think Gray Zabel is going to show up and show out and be an upgrade from Laken Tomlinson. Coaching staff feels pretty high on Olu at the center position after he did a solid job in the second half of last year after the surprise retirement of Connor Williams. Right guard spot is an open competition. Could be Bradford, could be Haynes, could be Lumea. They could end up signing somebody potentially. And then the right tackle position, Abraham Lucas. If he can stay healthy, Abe Lucas, I think, can do a really good job and be a quality starter there at the right tackle spot. I think the offensive line is going to be better than what they're given credit for. Ryan, I like that avatar with Nick Emmanwori, Cam Chancellor 2.0. Give us a 5-step plan to get to the playoffs. Well, the offensive line, number one, has got to play at a high level. Number two, Sam Darnold has got to be efficient and take care of the football. He also needs to do a better job of getting the ball out quicker, which is something he struggled with in Minnesota. Number three, I need an elite pass rush, and it's not so much that you need to be blitzing all the time. I know that Mike McDonald has said he wants to call up more blitzes, but think about this. The Eagles last year had so much success, particularly in the Super Bowl, without actually having to blitz and got after the quarterback. So that would be my third step in that plan. Number four, I think, is health, especially with older players like DeMarcus Lawrence, Cooper Kupp. I think you need those guys to stay healthy. And then number five, I would say, run the damn football. You need an effective run game. If Seattle can do all five of those things, without a doubt in my mind, they would be a playoff team in 2025. Folks, want to make sure not only you're subscribed, but you also have your notifications turned on, that you're part of what we call the Noti Gang here on Seahawks Today. Those are the people that are the first to know when we have new content here on the channel, whether it's a live show, a new video, breaking news. Maybe you want to be a part of the next mailbag segment that we do each and every Wednesday where we answer your questions live in real time. Well, you need to be subscribed and turn on notifications. If you're part of that Noti Gang, spam Noti Gang in the comments section. Subscribe now for free, youtube.com/Seahawks TV, and hit that Noti bell to stay alert and up to date with everything here on your Hawks. Steve from Blues Clues writes in. You know, it's funny. I've said this around the office. I'm not going to offend anybody by saying this. One of our newer employees, he's been here about a year now, Joey Peterson, host of Ravens Rundown. He reminds me of Steve from Blues Clues. I get Steve from Blues Clues vibes every time I talk to Joey Peterson, see him over on Ravens Rundown. Speaking of Joey and the Ravens, here's a question for you. Should Seattle trade for Mark Andrews? Mandrews. I like Mark Andrews. This is a guy who has been fantastic, dating back to his days with the Oklahoma Sooners. In the words of Gus Johnson, he's been doing it with diabetes as well, which, I mean, I don't know how much you guys know about diabetes, but, I mean, the blood pressure, the blood sugar and all that, I mean, that's no joke. I do not envy anybody with diabetes by any stretch of the imagination. But here he is with diabetes, and he has been one of the best tight ends in football, folks. Now, his numbers have slipped a little bit compared to what we saw back in 2021 when they had over 1,300 yards. But still, 847 yards in 2022, 544 yards. Did miss some time in 2023. Last year, bounced back a bit, 11 touchdowns. People, though, have a sour taste in their mouth from Mark Andrews after he had an awful performance in the AFC divisional round as he made some crucial mistakes that one could argue cost the Ravens a chance at the AFC Championship game. He's still a very good football player. I don't think he's as good as his teammate Isaiah Likely anymore. But it all depends on the price tag. I think that Elijah Arroyo is going to be fantastic. If you move on from Noah Fant and you pair up Arroyo and Mark Andrews, if I don't have to break the bank and give up a ton of assets, then I would be intrigued with Mark Andrews potentially. Should the Seahawks trade for Mark Andrews? It's our pinned comment today. Your chance to be the GM here on the channel. You got two options here. Set T for trade, P for pass. Weigh in the comments section and tell me what you think. Kingsley writes in, where do you think Kobe Bryant fits in with Nick Emmanwori? So I've been asked this question a couple times, and I'll give you the same answer I've said. Doesn't change anything for Kobe. Doesn't change anything for Julian Love either. Nick Emmanwori, he's going to be kind of like a utility player of sorts, where you just find a spot for him, whether it's a three-high safety look, whether it's playing nickelback. He's got experience playing linebacker and outside backer as well. Kobe Bryant's not getting demoted by any stretch of the imagination. They will play together, and I think that the only way, I say only way, there's two scenarios where Nick Emmanwori could mean trouble for Kobe Bryant. One is if there's an injury to Kobe Bryant and Nick Emmanwori replaces him and plays so well that they don't go back, which is what happened last year for Kobe Bryant with Rayshawn Jenkins, where he took Rayshawn's job away. That's option one. The other thing is if Kobe Bryant just plays like ass, then they go to Nick Emmanwori and so on and so forth. But other than those two scenarios, Kobe has nothing to worry about. His job is still remains the same. Hawks Nation writes in, could the Seahawks trade for Curtis Samuel? Curtis Samuel of the Buffalo Bills. I've been told that nobody circles the wagon like the Buffalo Bills. Curtis Samuel, here's the thing. Curtis Samuel, not a bad receiver by any stretch of the imagination. Played most of his career with the Commies. Then last year went to Buffalo. Didn't have a great year with Buffalo. But Seahawks already have that type of receiver. He's not one to ever stretch the field and be a true vertical threat. Beyond MVS, they don't really have much of that right now. That's the type of playmaker they're looking for. I don't think Curtis Samuel fits the scheme skill set that Seattle needs at this point. Buffalo could move on from him, but I would be surprised if Seattle's that fit. Should the Seahawks trade for Curtis Samuel? Y for yes, in for no. Weigh in, tell me in the comments section below. Seahawks fans, I have a great deal for you. Darius Rucker. I love Darius Rucker. I mean, Darius Rucker, you got to give him some credit because, you know, he brought the brotherhood to country music, right? And he's he's bringing the swag to the 12s as well. He's a diehard Seahawks fan, and you can get this Darius Rucker Western shirt, which I got to tell you is fantastic. Whether I'm in Nashville or I'm in Seattle, maybe I'm out in a cornfield somewhere, I mean, you're going to look fantastic wearing this thing. And the best part about it is that it's on sale. 40% off. 40% off, my friends, at chatsports.com/Darius. You're going to be singing Wagon Wheel and rooting on your Seahawks wearing this thing. That sounds like a lethal combination, if I'd say so myself. Chatsports.com/Darius to get this shirt today. Link is in the comments and description of today's video. We also have other Seahawks merchandise for your liking as well. Go check it out, chatsports.com/Darius. Time for a couple more questions. Chris writes in, will Milroe start it all this year? There's two ways. One is if Sam sucks. Yeah. The other is if Sam gets hurt. And we already saw in the Madden sim, Sam get hurt, and Jalen Milroe got some time out there. Other than those two scenarios, they're not just going to hand it to him. I mean, something bad is going to have to happen. Now, here's another. I'll give you a third scenario, come to think of it. And this is a bit of a stretch, but I'll put it out there anyway. If Seattle goes on a tear and they lock up their playoff spot before Week 18, then Jalen Milroe could start Week 18. But we're a long ways from that right now. So, short answer, highly unlikely. Long answer, there's some slim chances in there. Last question, Lon writes in, when does training camp start? July 20th, 2025. Training camp starts. We'll be all over it right here on Seattle Seahawks Today. Thanks for joining us here on the program. Subscribe now for continuing Seahawks coverage. YouTube.com/Seahawks TV. I'm Tyler Jones, your brother from another. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time here on the channel. All right. He did. Hootie and the Blowfish. Hootie and the Blowfish. Back in the day. Darius Rucker. All right, let's go to the Super Chat menu one last time. Before we say sayonara and good night and get out of here, here's your last chance to get on today's show. First time Super Chatters get the Seahawks chant. $5, we'll do a beer cheers. $10, get me a birthday shot. $20, spin the wheel of punishment. $50, we will do a beer bong. I'm putting 1 minute on the clock. Super Chat of any amount. Show stays live. We can keep on going. Otherwise, we can sign off and we can go home and call it a day. It is up to you guys. It is your show. We can keep this thing going. We can talk Seahawks. We can celebrate my birthday accordingly. Hell, I mean, if we get crazy enough, we could do a birthday boot if we get to 300. I will not show you my birthday suit, though. I can promise you that much. Up to you guys. Super Chat of any amount. We'll see if we can make it happen. First time Super Chatters get the Seahawks chant. $5 beer cheers. $10 take some shots. $20 spin the wheel of punishment. And $50 we will do a beer bong. Clock is running out. Last chance to get on the program. 20 seconds remaining. And then we will get out of here and go from there. Folks, a lot of fun today. I am off to Austin tomorrow and then South Padre for the rest of the weekend. But we will have plenty of coverage on the channel over the coming days ahead. If any news breaks while I'm on vacation, we will still have content and cover it. Maybe I'll do a report from the beach potentially. Wouldn't it be funny to make Will Scott have to film a video for me?
Yeah.
On the road.
Definitely.
Hey, Will, hold my phone.
He'd do it for you.
Oh, he would. Maybe when I'm driving, because I got to drive.
Yep.
Maybe I need to make Will distro my videos for me on Friday.
Hey, maybe.
He knows how to do distro, you know.
Well, you might have to reteach him, like the highlight cut.
Yeah, you had to teach him that a few times.
That's all right.
I only had to be taught once.
That's right.
Follow me on IG as the Summer of Jones continues. At Tyler Jones Live for more Seahawks coverage and a little more fun throughout the coming weeks ahead. Myron saying, have fun, be safe, Tyler. Ty Man CNC, y'all happy birthday. Thank you, Ty Man. Appreciate you joining us. For Big Tex, I'm Tyler Jones. Have a great night, everybody. So long. We will see you next time right here on Seahawks Today.